1.
Hi, I'm Karen Fraser Middleton with the CCC Maker Initiative, and I take care of the marketing. And joining me today is Ronnie Roper. He's the UX designer with iTool, and iTool has developed the CCC Maker website. In today's webinar, we're going to be reviewing how the visitors that come to our website will be able to see information specifically about your makerspace. So this is the front end. And then that will help you when you go into the dashboard, and you'll be able to know where the information will appear to visitors after you enter it in the dashboard. Ronnie?
All right, so I'm going to switch over to my screen real quick here. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so what we're looking at right now is the front end Makerspaces. This is technically the landing page where all of the Makerspace profiles are brought into on the front end of the website. And this is, in particular, this is Space of the Day, which this is not a manual thing. It's not something that anybody sets. It's actually a randomized selection of one college that's featured for 24 hours, and then tomorrow it's going to rotate randomly to another one that is featured for another 24 hours. And all of this information pulls from your space, which is controlled through different sections after you log in to your space admin area, which there's a video on that. But essentially what we're looking at is the name of the college, the logo, and this area will have information that pulls from the About section of your space, which we'll look at that once we get into just a couple clicks down. There's going to be Sierra Makers. We're going to go into that one. We've filled out some of that profile. So you'll see the About section, and it'll hopefully make a little bit of sense. But then there's also a spot in your admin area that allows you to upload a photo, which will feature when your space ends up rotating around into this Space of the Day area at the top of the page. So we'll cover all that stuff in the other video. As I scroll down, we've got a graphic here for any visitors if they would like to see where everybody falls on a map. I'm going to go ahead and click on this, so you're going to see the page refresh over to the map page. And if somebody wanted to, they could type in a zip code and then say within X amount of miles from that zip code and filter in all of the locations. I'm not going to do that right now, but I'll just show you that you can zoom in on specific locations. And when you click on these map pins, then it shows you the data that is entered from the profile, which you can control from your Makerspace admin. And as you see, we've entered all of the colleges, but very minimal information in here because you can have phone number, you can have a couple other things listed. For example, this one, Curious Forge, has the phone and it has a website address as well.
So Ronnie, you'll be able to change that because we just entered the college main office address. And so each college will be able to go in the back end through the dashboard. And if they need to update any information on their space, they'll be able to do that. And then it will automatically be corrected on this map. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, we're also going to touch on if you updated this address, then there's a couple little nuances with it, but there's a spot to change the location information once you're in your admin area. So we'll cover that in another video, and that's on your Makerspace dashboard after you log into your admin space. So I'm going to go back to the previous page by just clicking up here into the Makerspaces section. So here's our landing page again. And as you can see, as I scroll down, all of the colleges are listed alphabetically, featuring the college logo. And if you wanted to upload a different college logo in here, maybe something that was specific to your makerspace, for example, let's scroll down here to Sierra. Sierra has a different one that has Makerspaces, the text Makerspaces underneath their logo. So if you had something a little more customized, you could change it out in your admin area after you log in. But we're going to go into the Sierra space and see what that actually looks like as you've filled some content out for it, and talk a little bit more about these different sections on the public space.
So you can see at the top, it says view our ecosystem map below the Sierra College Makerspaces. And so you'll be able to put in the link to your ecosystem map. There's actually a slot for that in the back-end dashboard where it asks for your Kumu map URL. So when you do that, and then when you click on that view our ecosystem map, it'll take people directly to your ecosystem map. So that's what Ronnie's doing right now. You can see that it's opening up on the Kumu site, and it's going to show the ecosystem map. So that way everybody can see all of your work in developing those partnerships that you've worked on.
I'm going to go back.
So that'll be a great way for people on campus and your partners to see all the interconnections. Then below the ecosystem map, there's a place where you can put any content you want about your makerspace. To make it easy to get started, what you might want to do is just pull information that you've already written for your narrative. So that's what we put in here. We put the problem statement and the strategy and what the plans are for internships and working with the makerspaces and curriculum that Sierra College provided in their narrative. So we've just used that as the content. You can update and change this at any time, but that would get you started so that when people come to your makerspace, there would be some information. And then in the right-hand
on the right column, yeah. Yeah, the right column, again, here's the college logo featured, and then this information over here in this right column box, then that's managed through the locations tab once you log into the admin area underneath your dashboard. There's some videos on how we're going to cover that. But then underneath.
Wait a minute. So I would just like to comment, Ronnie. So we've set this up so that this is information about the college and the college's address and the college's Twitter accounts and Facebook accounts. And then there's going to be a separate place where you can have all the information about where your makerspace location is.
Yeah, and we'll click, maybe since we're talking about locations, we just go into that section underneath here. So I clicked on the navigation item, Makerspace Locations, over underneath Explore the Space. And now since Sierra College is listed at the top, they also have Hacker Lab, Curious Forge, and Truckee Roundhouse locations listed on this page as well. So the important thing to know here is you can have multiple locations, but one thing to note is, Karen, actually, I'll let you discuss that. I was just going to say that whatever you add in here, it's viewed to the public, and so it should be associated somehow with your space. If you're adding contributors and whatnot, then actually, Karen, I'll let you continue with that.
So the top one is the college information. And then if you have, say you have a makerspace right now in your engineering lab, that might be where, in this case, they've listed Hacker Lab. And then maybe you're going to open up another space at your college library. So where we have Curious Forge listed here, you might have that it's you have another makerspace in your library. So this is designed to be as flexible as possible, depending on how you've arranged your makerspace. You might have a makerspace that you co-own with partners, or you might have an agreement, as Sierra College has an agreement with Hacker Lab, Curious Forge, and Truckee Roundhouse, where we're jointly working on promoting making to students and faculty. So Sierra is going to be a lot more complicated probably than some of your other ones. Many of you will just have the one location.
So then, as far as contributors to your space, I'll let Karen talk about what this would be, but essentially, this is where you can feature people with a photo. You can put a write-up, you have their name, and then you can have an image in there. And this is, again, it's all manageable from the back end. After you log in and get access to your space, then there's a separate section to enter this content. And there's no limit to the amount of people that you can add in here as well. So just to note that, but I'll let Karen talk about what this actually means, the contributors, and who would be placed underneath these.
So this would be a good place to put your team leader's name and some information, as well as the other members of your team that are planning and implementing your Makerspace plan. It'd be great if you included the student leaders that are actively involved so that they would get recognition for their contribution to your implementation program. You may also have somebody who manages your Makerspace and the aides and support team that are at the Makerspace. You might also list them on this contributors page.
So continuing down the right column underneath Explore this space, and we've talked about this space, contributors, and then Makerspace locations. The rest of these items listed here, community, curriculum, internships, news, projects, and students, these are categories. They're specific to the blog. So when you create content and you post, everybody that manages a space has the ability to create new blog posts and post to any one of these categories. And once you do that, then somebody from the front end is able to, a visitor is able to come on here, say if I wanted to look at the projects that Sierra College Makerspaces has posted in here, then I could click projects, and now it shows me only their blog posts related to projects category that they have created. And here's a test posting. These are just some test ones. If I wanted to read more about it, then I could click on it. The content's going to load. I have a featured image at the top. And again, we're going to discuss how to do this and get this content into the profile in another video. But just to kind of touch and see how it looks from the front end, there's content. There's an image that was uploaded with this post as well. You could put video, you could put multiple photos, you could have a gallery of photos, and then anyone that has a login can comment on these posts as well. And you see these are just some test postings that were made in here.
So the idea behind that is that the other people that are part of our CCC Maker community would be able to make comments about each other's projects or posts. And as you know, we've got the four main things that we're working on: the Makerspace, the curriculum development, creating internships, and developing community. And so that's why these categories have been developed the way they are. And of course, we're also interested in any news about your Makerspace, showing projects that are being created at your Makerspace, and the student leaders that are being developed and are getting involved with different projects and activities at the Makerspace. So that's why you'll choose when you put a blog post in which of those categories it fits under.
One thing I want to note also is, since I was on the profile of Sierra and I clicked to see only the projects that they have posted, but then I clicked on a title to view more on that blog post, I was taken to the resources section. So there's a couple different things that are going on here. There's the top navigation. You see that resources is now the active orange color. Resources is the heading. And then now it says this post created by, and then it features the college logo here. So when you create a post, it's featured in really two major sections. It's featured on your profile that anybody can access, find your profile, go to it, look at the post that you've created. But if somebody goes underneath resources, which I'm not going to go into the main resources page right now, you can kind of explore the site on your own, but essentially that section is where it aggregates all the posts from that are created on the website all together from all the spaces or other contributors, and then it brings it together in one spot. And so what I wanted to make sure happened was that the college got credit if somebody comes in through that other area. And what happens, what's kind of a little bit unique about these postings compared to other ones, is since this is marked as being created by a specific college, you have short, quick links to this particular college. So, post created by Sierra, I want to know about this space, then I can go directly from here into their profile. So there's quick links that are going back and forth. So we're never losing the association of that post on the website, no matter where you're at, no matter who's viewing it. We're never losing that association if a college has posted it from their profile. So I just wanted to make sure that that was kind of clear, because we had a little bit of an interface change there. And I don't know if anybody caught that, but I wanted to make sure it was pointed out in case anybody did.
Great. Thanks, Ronnie. And then
so hopefully
at the bottom, we'll also have recent posts that are affiliated with your site. When they're on your Makerspace page below Explore This Space, there'll be some other recent blog posts listed there as well.
Yeah, this says projects right now, but we're going to change it to just recent posts. So this will show the 3 most recent for this particular profile, or this particular makerspace. Can you think of anything else to cover on here, Karen?
I think those are the main things. The only thing, if you could click into Makerspace Locations one more time, Ronnie. I just wanted to point out that if you scroll down just a little bit, so Sierra College is partnering with Hacker Lab, and so there's some specific Twitter and Facebook feeds and the direct website link to Hacker Lab. So you'll be able to customize these however you need to with, that's different social media as well as website and phone numbers and other information. So I just wanted you to be aware that you have full ability to provide different information for all of the different locations that you have makerspaces.
I just thought of another thing is we'll probably cover this in the locations video, but you see over here in the right, then this information matches the first location listed. So if you do have multiple locations that you list, and like Karen was saying earlier, one might be a library location. If you wanted your college location to show up here, that information on the right is pulling from the first location listed in this group. And there's a way that you just simply drag and drop the locations once you log into your administrative area. It's really simple, but I just want to make that clear. We'll probably note that again in the locations video when we're showing you how to actually make these edits. But the association here is right column, that's the first one listed.
And these addresses are affiliated with the map, right? So
yeah.
the pins that we saw on the map earlier are coming directly from the addresses that you enter into the Makerspace location that show up here.
So this map, and when you change, if you were to add a new location, then it adds a new map pin automatically. There's nothing extra that you have to do. If you, I was gonna find one that was, well, we'll cover some more details about these once we talk about locations further. But I think that covers pretty much everything for the front end for the Makerspace profiles. Can you think of anything else?
No, I think that we've covered what the visitors see, so that it makes you aware in your mind, you know, what their experience is going to be as they're going through the website. And then you'll see in the back end on the other videos how to enter the information so that it will appear like this on your Makerspace profile here in the CCC Maker website. So look for those other videos so you learn how to enter all that information.